Hey, it's your buddy Karnak. We're back with another Star Wars Armada Explained. Today we're going to look at the Ordnance card, the Assault Proton Torpedoes. How do you know it equips into an Ordnance slot? You look at the bottom left hand corner of the card, you will see the Ordnance icon. This card costs 5 points, and it reads Assault Proton Torpedoes, black, critical, deal 1 face up damage card to the defender. So, how does this card resolve? Well, in this example, we're going to pit an MC-30 against the Star Destroyer. So this MC-30, it rolls 3 black die out aside, and then either 2 blue die or 2 red die, depending on the variant. We're just going to worry about just the three black dice. So the MC-30, first thing you want to check is make sure you're in range, which of course close range is this black clear area here. Medium range is the blue circle. Long range is the red circle. But yes, our MC-30 is absolutely in close range. If anything, it looks like he's double arced. Absolutely. So he's going to elect to make his first attack, and he's going to attack out of his front hull arc. And how many black dice do they throw out the front? They throw 2. They throw 2 black dice out the front. So he's going to elect to make his first attack from the front of the MC-30 to the front of that Star Destroyer. He's going to toss his 2 black that he has, and in this version we'll say, yeah, he's got, it's the blue die thrown version, and he throws that. You can see there, the black die, we do have a hit critical icon showing. So when does this card actually resolve? Well, this card resolves at the start of the resolve damage step, which takes place after the spend defense token step. So after you're done rolling your die, modifying, re-rolling, anything else you say, okay, I'm done playing around, your opponent then has the opportunity to now, in a spend defense token step, to elect to spend tokens. And he can spend, 1 of each kind of token if he prefers. And why doesn't Assault Proton Torpedo immediately trigger? Well, you have to see if that hit crit icon lasts until the resolve damage step, because some ships have the ability to negate that card, like a damage control officer with contain. Maybe they have another ability that allows them to remove that die. So if that die isn't present, you can't trigger the Assault Proton Torpedo critical effect. But in this example, we're going to say the ISD had no way to remove it. It's still there. So it's going to go off. And so at the very start of the resolve damage step, you say, I'm triggering Assault Proton Torpedoes. That is immediately that effect goes off, because critical effects always go off first. So you would immediately deal a face-up damage card to your ship. Your ship, regardless if it's got full shields or not, it immediately loses a hull, and immediately will take a face-up damage card. And then this is where things can get interesting. So, for example, if your Star Destroyer had elected to use, I'm going to brace, so turn that 3 damage to 2, because the critical icon still counts as a damage on its own. I'm going to brace, and I am going to redirect. Now, if I randomly pull a card from the top deck, and then flip that card face up, and if it's projector misaligned, this is where things can get tricky. So when the defender is declaring which zone is going to suffer the redirect to, you have to declare that in the spend defense token step. So for example, we'll say that ISD had already taken a shot on his front. So if projector misaligned, the card reads your whole zone with the most remaining shields loses all of its shields. If multiple are tied, choose between the tied hull zones, then flip this card face down. Or in this example, we're going to say the Star Destroyer has 2 shields missing off the front, and this one over here is missing 1 off the side. So when you had declared your redirect, if you said, you know what, I'm going to redirect from my front hull zone to my right hull zone, if that right hull zone with projector misaligned has the most shields remaining, guess what happens? All those shields get drained. So now you're no longer able to redirect any damage over to that side at all, period. Because redirect, you can only redirect into shield damage. You can't redirect into hull damage. So projector misaligned, bad things can happen if you pull this card. It's the first call. Even with like a full health Star Destroyer, if you pull projector missile line, boom, there goes all of your front shields with that first card, and now you still have to deal an additional 2 damage to your Star Destroyer. And a same thing, for example, if he was to draw Shield Failure, you have to resolve immediately the face-up effects of that card. And in the case of Shield Failure, it's your opponent may choose up to 2 hull zones. Each of those hull zones loses 1 shield and flip face down. That's why it's important, especially with this interaction with APT, if you're the one using it, and an opponent says, "Oh, I'm just going to redirect," and he doesn't tell you where he's redirecting to, you got to get nitpicky, because suddenly you can say, "Oh, I'm going to redirect over here. I'm not redirecting there." Well, if you chose, for example, with Shield Failure, his front hull zone and the other hull zone he initially said he was going to redirect to, and then he tries to switch it on you, that's against the rules. You're past the spend defense token step. And again, same thing if you were to draw structural damage, you would take a second, you would take another damage card, you'd take it face down. And then that's only the first attack. He could follow up with the second attack with 3 more black die, and if he's got the ability to re-roll, well, we're gonna say he re-rolled into a hit crit. Here this all comes again potentially with these cards or other detrimental cards. So in one activation, this frigate could potentially deal, at least 2 hull damage before even taking into account shields, depending on the cards that are drawn. You could lose all your shields and take massive hull damage in just these 2 attacks. So that is the trigger. That is how Assault Proton Torpedoes work. If you have any questions, if you feel like I got anything wrong, please be sure to leave me a comment. Otherwise, thank you again for watching.